ready.
Absolutely.
All right, we're back up for live streaming.
Okay. Logan, thank you very much. And anybody else that wants to rejoin in, since we're back up the live stream, I'll just mention that anybody that would like to rejoin, we will be coming back into public session now. Madam Chair, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Crum. Mr. Lockley, would you please provide the closed session language?
Yes, Madam Chair. A motion that the Board of Directors certify pursuant to Section 2.23712, subsection D of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended by a roll call vote that 1, only public business matters lawfully exempted from the open meetings requirements of the Freedom of Information Act, and 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed session were heard, discussed, or considered by the Board of Directors during the closed.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Roll call vote, Mr. Crum.
Yes, upon motion by Ms. McClellan, second by Mr. Jones to come back into open session. Ms. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. McClellan?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Thank you, Al. And Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Madam Chair, motion carries. You're back in open session.
Thank you very much. So moving into now discussion, I know that we have a lot of discussion and we have about 5 minutes left of this call. So I recognize that we may have to move this discussion into another call. Sorry that but we knew that we were going to be packing a lot into this meeting. But for the next 5 minutes, I would like to have the discussion on first, I think whether what the appetite is for the capital expense for each city, and then moving in, or maybe we just discuss where we think we should be going as far as option A, B, or C. And if you need a reference, yes, Ms. Ellen.
Yeah, and my apologies. I have a hard stop at 3:59 because I have to start another Zoom that I'm hosting for. I just very strongly that we retain ownership of this brand and this asset. I am of the mindset we probably should consider a maintenance and marketing company to help us with this. But I think this is an asset that is it is extraordinary. Broadband access for our citizens, for our businesses, for public safety is it is our connection to our future, and this is a huge opportunity for us. And I think it would be very penny wise and pound foolish to give up that opportunity. It's shown that there's a ROI on this, even without any revenue. That pay this off in 20 years, or possibly as soon as 7 or 8, if there was some small portion of revenue for it. I'm very concerned, and I speak as a city of Norfolk who's gone through the Elizabeth River tunnel crossings, and where we gave up an asset for public-private partnership that we can't get out of. We are paying for it miserably. So I think there's nothing more important to our city's future and our foundation than this broadband foundation. And I feel very strongly that we should look very closely at financing this as an authority with the help of the 5 cities.
Thank you, Ms. Cullen. So you're definitely an option A, is what I'm hearing. Next, I know we only have about 3 minutes left. Would anyone else like to just have their yes, Mr. Moore.
If I may, if we take a look at the individual costs for each municipality, if we could bring that out across a spend down or a cost allocation time period, we may be over on different fiscal years, which may be more palatable to some as they look at it, especially for option 1 or 2.
Good point. Good point, Al.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Jones.
And I'd like to see both the A and C scenario. But I want to stress to all the board members that the decision that we're making here is not only about the 5 Southside cities. This is the Hampton Roads ring. So we've got phases 2 and 3 to go. And if we don't get this foundation right, it's literally going to be a never-ending saga with us.
Very good point, Mr. John.
So I think
Excellent.
I think this is a really big decision, and possibly we should go back to our councils and discuss this, because we're only one of many, and it's going to affect all of us. So I also think that we have a lot of competing needs in government, and there's a way we can retain ownership and have a certain amount of control without giving it up, without having to put out $23 million. So I don't think we should give that up yet. So I feel really strongly about that as well. I mean, we've got teachers who need raises, we've got stormwater needs, we've got rising sea level. We've had this pandemic to deal with. I mean, there is so many things that we have on our plate. I mean, we have some cities who've had to lay off people. So I think we've got to be really careful how we go down this. And maybe this is a topic that's big enough, we need to go back and talk to our councils.
Okay. Other comments?
Madam Chair, can we schedule another date for a meeting? And I don't disagree with
That's a great
Rosemary.
idea.
I think this is a big decision. I want to be very careful, though, to understand the amount of money that we're talking about and the budgets that each of our cities has. So approximately $4.8 million over, bonded out over 20 years. It's not going to ruin our credit ratings. This is truly such a significant investment with a pretty amazing return. I don't know, but I agree with you, Rosemary. I think it's worth going back to our cities. I just want to make sure that when it's presented in that context. Thanks.
So with that, Mr. DeBerry, would you please go ahead and take the lead with to get another meeting scheduled fairly quickly? I'd rather like to see if we could maybe do this in the next couple of weeks to continue this discussion, and we can then have perhaps a little bit more time to go through the options. Also, could you do as Mr. Moore suggested? If Mr. DeHaven could work out with you to provide some kind of, I guess, alignment, if you will, with the budget cycles. And is that what would you say, Mr. Moore? That's what you're thinking? Okay. So if you could do that too, and before our next meeting, that would be helpful, and maybe send that out. Anybody have anything else? I'm 1 minute over, and I wasn't going to do that. I appreciate everybody's participation today. Thank you so much. I look forward to our next meeting. We are definitely putting the ball down the field. Had to put in a Super Bowl analogy there. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.